The truth is, life will not always hand you comfort, and happiness will not always knock politely at your door. Sometimes you must go out and chase it with everything inside you. Let me tell you something very important right from the beginning. Listen closely. You were not designed to live your life controlled by pain, controlled by problems, or controlled by pressure. You were designed to rise above them. Happiness is not the reward for a perfect life. Happiness is the decision you make in the middle of an imperfect one. And that is what I want to talk to you about today. You see, happiness is not something you wait for. Happiness is something you build. Happiness is not something you stumble into. It is something you push yourself toward. And sometimes the most powerful version of happiness is not the one that comes easily, but the one you fight for when everything around you feels heavy. Yes, life gets hard. Life gets confusing. Life gets dark. But every time you choose happiness in the middle of that storm, you are declaring that your circumstances do not own you. You own you. So let me ask you a question. When life hits you, when people disappoint you, when plans fall apart, when you wake up and the day feels heavier than your body can carry, what do? Do you collapse under it, or do you push yourself to rise? Because happiness hides in the same direction as your effort. And if you want to find it, you must be willing to move toward it, even when your feet feel tired, even when your heart feels uncertain. Let me tell you something I've learned. Life is not hard because you're weak. Life is hard because you're being shaped. You are being stretched. You are being built. Every challenge you face is carving away the parts of you that no longer serve you. Every painful moment is sharpening your character. Every setback is preparing you for a level of happiness you could not appreciate with pushing yourself. To be happy does not mean pretending the pain isn't real. It doesn't mean faking a smile. It means understanding that your joy is not negotiable. Your peace is not for sale. Your happiness is not something life gets to control like a switch. You own that switch. You decide when it turns on. Happiness is your internal power, not your external reward. So today I want you to make a decision. Decide that even when it's hard, even when it hurts, even when the world feels heavy, you will push yourself toward happiness. Because every time you do, you are training your mind to rise. You are training your heart to heal. You are training your future to open. You were never meant to live life reacting. You were meant to live life choosing. Happiness is a choice with consequences. When you choose happiness, your energy changes, your attitude changes, your perspective changes. You become stronger, clearer, wiser, and the world begins to respond to you differently. Let me leave you with this thought. The hardest moments of your life are not there to break you. They are there to reveal you. Inside you is a strength you have not met yet. Inside you is peace you have not discovered yet. Inside you is joy that has been waiting for you to stop waiting and start choosing. So push yourself. Push yourself even when you don't feel like it. Push yourself even when it seems unfair. Push yourself even when life tries to convince you that happiness is far away. It is not far, it is inside you. And the moment you decide to claim it, everything begins to change. Happiness is a decision, not a reward. This is one of the most misunderstood truths in life, because most people are waiting for happiness as if it is a prize handed out after life finally becomes easy. They wait for the perfect job, the perfect family, the perfect moment, the perfect breakthrough. They wait for the day the pain disappears, the stress fades, the wounds close. They wait for the world to give them something it was never designed to give. Happiness was never meant to arrive at your doorstep wrapped in gold. Happiness is something you choose right where you are, with what you have, even if what you have is not perfect. Especially then. Look around in your daily life. Think about the people you know. Some have everything you think you need to be happy, yet they are miserable. Others have almost nothing, yet they smile like the sun lives inside their chest. Why? Because happiness is not about the size of your home, the brand of your clothes, the number of your followers, or the weight of your wallet. It is about the posture of your mind. It is about the decision you make when life gives you reasons to complain, and you respond with reasons to appreciate. Happiness is not something you wait to feel, it is something you choose to practice. Every morning when you wake up, you are standing at a crossroads. On one side is the path of reaction, where you let your problems, your stress, your disappointments, and your memories decide how you feel. On the other side is the path of intention, where you take ownership of your emotions and say, today I will not surrender my peace to circumstances. That decision changes everything. That decision is the difference between living a life controlled by pressure or living a life fueled by purpose. Let me give you a simple example. Imagine two people stuck in traffic. The first person is angry, honking, complaining, stressing, ruining their whole day because of something they cannot control. The second person is listening to uplifting words, planning their day, using the moment as quiet time, choosing peace even in delay. The situation is the same, the traffic is the same, but the experience is different because one made a decision while the other reacted. This is the power of choosing happiness. It takes the same situation and changes how it affects you. Another example. Think about someone who loses their job. One person breaks down, believes life is over, feels powerless. Another person in the same situation feels the fear but starts exploring new ideas, learning new skills, sending applications, creating opportunities. What is the difference? The second person decided not to let life define them. They decided to keep moving. They decided to believe something better is possible. And that decision becomes the seed that grows into a new chapter. You see, happiness is not the absence of problems. Happiness is the presence of perspective. You will always have storms, but happiness teaches you how to dance in the rain. You will always have challenges, but happiness teaches you how to grow through what you go through. The decision to be happy is not denial, it is discipline. It is telling yourself, I choose peace over panic, hope over fear, faith over doubt, growth over excuses. It is reminding yourself that even if today is heavy, you are still in control of your attitude. Sometimes you will wake up and everything feels wrong. You feel tired. You feel emotional. You feel like life is too much. In these moments, happiness is not a feeling that appears magically. It is a choice you fight for. It is the way you talk to yourself. It is the decision to get up, show up, and not give up. Happiness is the discipline of choosing to see possibility in the middle of pressure. Look at people who inspire you. They're not happy because their lives are perfect. They're happy because they practiced choosing joy until it became part of their identity. Every time life tried to break them, they decided to bend instead. Every time life tried to darken them, they decided to shine harder. They learned that the only power life truly has is the power you give it. And when you decide that your joy is not negotiable, life loses its ability to control your mood. Think about someone walking through a hard season. Maybe a breakup, a financial struggle, a family issue, a health scare. They wake up with weight on their shoulders, but they still choose to smile at someone. They still choose to be kind. They still choose to be grateful for small things. That is not weakness, that is strength. That is the strength of a person who understands that happiness does not come after the storm. It is something you carry inside the storm. Happiness is the decision to take responsibility for your emotional climate. It is the moment you say, my joy does not depend on who stays or who leaves, what works or what fails, what comes or what goes. My joy depends on the choices I make within myself. The decision to be happy is the decision to not let temporary situations create permanent moods. It is understanding that life will always change, but your mindset can grow stronger with every challenge. You must push yourself to make this decision daily. Some days it will feel easy, other days it will feel impossible. But the more you practice it, the more natural it becomes. And one day you look back and realize that you have become a different person. You have become someone who does not crumble under pressure. Someone who does not wait for perfect moments to feel alive. Someone who creates happiness instead of chasing it. And this is where your power lies. Right here in your ability to choose. In your ability to say, even if life is hard, I will not let my happiness be held hostage by circumstances. I will decide how I feel, and I will choose joy even in the shadows. Life's challenges are shaping you, not destroying you. Most people hear that sentence and nod their head, but they don't truly understand what it means until life hits them hard. Because when the pressure comes, when the struggle shows up, when the setbacks start piling on top of each other, your first thought is never, this is shaping me. Your first thought is, why is this happening to me? You feel like you're being pushed down, crushed, overlooked, forgotten. But the truth is far deeper than your emotions. The truth is that every challenge you are facing right now is molding you into someone stronger, wiser, clearer, and more capable than you were yesterday. Think about the process of shaping anything valuable. A diamond is formed under pressure, intense pressure, the kind of pressure that would break most things. But that same pressure is the reason it becomes priceless. Steel becomes stronger through fire. Clay becomes beautiful only after it has been pressed, stretched, and placed in the heat. Everything meaningful is formed through a process that doesn't feel comfortable. And you, whether you realize it or not, are going through the same process. Life is not trying to destroy you. Life is preparing you, developing you, sharpening you, because there are levels ahead of you that require a stronger version of you. Every challenge in your life acts like a chisel. It chips away the parts of you that are no longer needed. It breaks off your fear. It cracks open your insecurity. It removes your doubt piece by piece. And even though it hurts, even though it feels unfair, even though it feels like life is pushing you to the edge, it is shaping you into someone who can stand in places you once thought you weren't qualified for. Sometimes you don't see the shaping while it's happening because the process feels messy. It feels painful. It feels confusing. But just because the process is uncomfortable doesn't mean it's destroying you. Transformation never feels comfortable. Think about your daily life. Look at the moments that frustrated you, the people who disappointed you, the situations that forced you to grow. Maybe you lost a job and felt like your world collapsed. But that loss pushed you into a new path that revealed abilities you never knew you had. Maybe someone walked out of your life and you felt abandoned, but that pain taught you how strong and independent you truly are. Maybe you failed at something you worked hard for, but that failure taught you resilience, discipline, and clarity that you could never develop through success alone. Challenges do not take from you, they reveal you. They uncover who you can become. Too often we misinterpret difficulty as punishment when it is really preparation. Life isn't targeting you. Life is training you. Life is giving you the emotional muscle you need for the future you keep asking for. You cannot pray for strength and expect comfort. Strength is born in resistance. Wisdom is born in confusion. Clarity is born in chaos. You grow the most in the moments that push you beyond what you thought you could handle. Think about a person at the gym lifting weights. The weight itself is not the enemy. The weight is the tool. If the weight feels heavy, it is because it is building you. If the weight feels uncomfortable, it is because it is stretching you. The same is true with life. The weight you feel right now is not trying to break your spirit. It is building your character. It is preparing you to carry bigger responsibilities, bigger visions, and bigger blessings. The weight you are fighting is shaping you into someone who can handle more than you ever imagined. And sometimes the shaping comes through people. The ones who criticized you, the ones who doubted you, the ones who betrayed you, the ones who misunderstood you. You think their actions destroyed you, but all they did was push you toward independence, self-respect, boundaries, clarity, and purpose. Their actions didn't break you, they built you. They forced you to grow in ways comfort never would. The pain they caused strengthened you emotionally. What felt like rejection was actually redirection. What felt like loss was actually elevation. In your everyday life, you see examples of shaping everywhere. A student who struggles with exams learns discipline that will help them later. A parent who deals with stress learns patience and strength. An entrepreneur who experiences failure learns creativity and resilience. A person healing from heartbreak learns self-worth and emotional intelligence. Life is constantly shaping us through experiences that don't look like blessings at first glance, but reveal their purpose once we grow through them. Life's challenges are not random attacks. They are intentional construction. You are under development. You are being prepared. You are being refined. Life is removing the parts that can't go with you to the next level. Life is strengthening the parts of you that you will need later. And even if you don't see the full picture yet, you are becoming someone you never imagined you could become. Every struggle you are facing is carving out a stronger version of you. Every challenge is building a deeper part of you. Every difficulty is shaping you into someone who will rise with confidence and power when others would collapse. One day you will look back at what you are going through right now, and you will realize that what felt like destruction was actually construction, what felt like pressure was actually preparation, and what felt like breaking was actually building. Happiness must be built intentionally, even during hard times. Most people believe happiness is something that arrives only when life becomes easy, peaceful, or comfortable. They think happiness is the prize you receive when everything finally goes your way. But the truth is the complete opposite. Happiness is not something you wait for. It is something you create. It is something you construct with your own hands, your own choices, your own habits, and your own mindset. Happiness is like building a house brick by brick, day by day, even when the weather is bad, even when the ground feels shaky, even when nothing around you seems perfect. Every day you wake up, life gives you reasons to complain and reasons to appreciate. And the direction your day takes depends on what you choose to focus on. Building happiness intentionally means you stop waiting for perfect conditions. It means you stop saying, I'll be happy when I get the job, or I'll be happy when the pain stops, or I'll be happy when the stress is gone, or I'll be happy when everything is finally stable. Because if you wait for perfect conditions, you will wait your entire life. Happiness is not built in perfect seasons. Happiness is built in the middle of storms. Look at your daily life. You wake up tired, but you choose to smile at someone anyway. That is building happiness. You feel stressed, but you choose to breathe deeply and calm your mind. That is building happiness. Your plans fall apart, but you choose to look for the next solution instead of giving up. That is building happiness. Happiness grows through small, consistent choices, not through big miracles. It grows when you choose peace over panic, gratitude over complaining, growth over excuses. Imagine someone who decides to start working out. The first day is hard, the second day is harder, and the third day their whole body hurts. It would be easy to quit, but they keep going. Slowly their strength grows. Nobody sees the work behind the scenes. Nobody sees the sweat. Nobody sees the moments they didn't feel like trying. But every little action is building something inside them. This is exactly how happiness works. The days you feel heavy, the moments you feel pressure, the situations that frustrate you. These are the days when building happiness matters the most. Because happiness built during hard times becomes unshakable. Think about a person who has every reason to feel broken, yet they choose joy anyway. Maybe they are going through a breakup, yet they still wake up and choose to take care of themselves. Maybe they are facing financial difficulty, but they choose to be grateful for the small things they still have. Maybe their family situation is stressful, but they choose to handle each day with patience. Those choices are not accidents. Those choices are the construction materials of happiness. Each choice adds another brick to the foundation. Each choice strengthens the walls of their emotional life. Happiness is not something life gives them. It is something they are building from within. Another example, think about someone at work who is under pressure. Deadlines are heavy, colleagues are difficult, mistakes happen. One person allows it to destroy their mood, their energy, their confidence. Another person feels the same pressure but chooses to stay calm, chooses to focus on what they can control, chooses to respond with clarity instead of chaos. The situation is the same, but the inner experience is different because one person is reacting and the other is building. Happiness is a construction project inside your mindset, not a gift handed to you by your environment. Building happiness intentionally also means protecting your mind from negativity. It means choosing what you allow inside your mental space. You don't let every opinion shape you. You don't let every criticism break you. You don't let every small inconvenience ruin your peace. You become the guardian of your own emotional home. If someone walked into your house and started throwing trash everywhere, you would stop them immediately. So why let negative thoughts walk into your mind and make a mess? Happiness requires discipline. It requires clarity. It requires boundaries. You cannot build happiness if you allow anything and everything to destroy it. And yes, some days will feel heavy. Some days will feel lonely. Some days will feel like nothing is working in your favor. And that is exactly when building happiness becomes even more important. Because happiness built during battle becomes the kind of happiness that nothing in life can shake. It becomes the kind of happiness that stays even when circumstances change. It becomes the kind of happiness that does not depend on who comes or who leaves, what works or what fails, what rises or what falls. Imagine a gardener planting seeds in rocky soil. The weather is unpredictable, the ground is tough, the progress is slow, but the gardener keeps working. They water the seeds, they protect the plants, they stay consistent. Months later, a beautiful garden grows. Not because the conditions were perfect, but because the gardener refused to stop building. Your happiness is that garden. The rocky soil is your hardship. The unpredictable weather is your life's uncertainty. But if you keep planting, keep watering, keep choosing joy, keep protecting your peace, something beautiful will grow. Happiness built intentionally becomes a habit, not a reaction. It becomes a lifestyle, not a moment. It becomes a strength, not a weakness. And the more you build it in hard times, the more powerful it becomes. Because when happiness is built intentionally, it becomes yours, truly yours, not dependent on any outside force, not controlled by circumstances, not shaken by changes. It becomes the quiet strength that carries you through anything. Choosing joy is an act of personal ownership and power. So many people walk through life as if their emotions belong to the world around them. They let circumstances decide how they feel. They let people dictate their mood. They let problems control their peace. They wake up hoping the day treats them kindly, hoping others behave well, hoping nothing stressful happens, and if anything goes wrong, their entire emotional world collapses. This is because they have forgotten one simple truth: your joy belongs to you. Your joy is your responsibility. Your joy is your decision. And the moment you understand this, you step into a level of personal power that changes your entire life. Joy is not something life gives you. Joy is something you choose to own. When you choose joy, you are saying, nothing outside me has the authority to command my inner world. You are taking back the power you've been giving away for years. Think about how many times you've handed your joy to someone else. Someone's rude comment destroyed your day. Someone's bad mood infected your spirit. Someone's silence made you question your worth. Someone's rejection made you feel unlovable. Someone's mistake made you feel insecure. Every time that happened, you surrendered your power. But choosing joy says, I refuse to let anyone else hold the remote control of my emotions. Look at your daily life. Imagine you're heading to work and someone cuts you off in traffic. One version of you gets angry, curses under their breath, carries the frustration into the office, snaps at someone, loses focus, and ruins their day. Another version of you breathes, stays calm, lets the moment pass, and continues your day with peace. The situation is identical, but the outcome is completely different. Why? Because joy is a choice. One version reacted, the other owned their power. You didn't control the car in front of you, but you controlled yourself. That is personal power. Or imagine someone talks behind your back. The old you gets hurt, replaying the words, losing sleep, worrying about what people think. The new you says their words reflect their heart, not my value. The old you feels attacked. The new you feels untouched. You didn't change the situation, you changed your response. That is personal ownership. Joy is not the absence of negativity, it is the refusal to surrender to it. There are people who wake up every day expecting the world to fill them with joy. They want their family to act perfectly, their friends to support them, their job to validate them, their plans to unfold exactly as imagined. But life is unpredictable. People are imperfect. Circumstances shift without warning. If your joy depends on everything going right, you will always feel powerless. True power begins the moment you realize that joy is an inside job, built internally, not delivered externally. Think about someone who works in a difficult environment. Maybe their boss is always stressed, their coworkers gossip, the pressure is high. One person lets the environment poison their spirit. Another person sets an internal standard. No matter what happens around me, I will protect my joy. That person walks with peace, speaks calmly, thinks clearly, and stays centered. People wonder, how do they stay so positive? It's simple. They own their joy. They refuse to let the world rent space in their heart. Choosing joy also means choosing your focus. Every day brings both positive and negative moments. There will always be something to complain about and something to appreciate. Joy grows where attention goes. If you focus on the problem grows. If you focus on the possibility grows. Someone who owns their joy has trained their mind to look for what is good, even when life is hard. Not because the pain isn't real, but because they refuse to let pain blind them from purpose. Let's look at a simple daily life example. Two people have the same long, tiring day. Person one gets home, complains about everything, feels defeated, drowns in bitterness. Person two gets home, feels tired but grateful, appreciates the roof over their head, plays music they love, takes a moment to breathe, and resets their spirit. Same exhaustion, different ownership. Joy is not found in the day, joy is created in the decisions. Choosing joy does not mean pretending everything is fine. It means understanding that even when everything is not fine, you still deserve peace. You still deserve clarity. You still deserve emotional freedom. Joy is not denial, joy is discipline. It is the discipline of saying, I choose not to let this break me. I choose not to let this steal what I have built. I choose not to let temporary situations create permanent bitterness inside me. There is incredible strength in choosing joy when life is heavy, because anyone can smile when everything is easy. But when you smile in the storm, that is power. When you keep hope in your heart during disappointment, that is power. When you stay kind in a cruel world, that is power. When you stay grateful in a season of lack, that is power. Joy is not weakness. Joy is strength dressed gently. It is the quiet force that keeps you grounded while everything around you shifts. And here is something most people never hear: joy is a responsibility. You owe it to yourself to protect your spirit. You owe it to yourself to decide what kind of energy you live with. You owe it to yourself to choose what thoughts you entertain, because your emotions are not just reactions, they are investments. Every time you choose joy, you invest in a stronger, healthier, more peaceful version of yourself. Every choice you make either strengthens your joy or steals it. When you gossip, your joy weakens. When you compare, your joy weakens. When you hold grudges, your joy weakens. But when you practice gratitude, your joy strengthens. When you forgive, your joy strengthens. When you focus on progress instead of perfection, your joy strengthens. Joy is a habit. Joy is a practice. Joy is a lifestyle. And the more you choose it, the more natural it becomes. Pushing yourself creates emotional resilience, and most people don't even realize how powerful this one choice is. Emotional resilience is not something you are born with. It is something you build every time life tests you. Every moment you choose to push yourself instead of giving up, you are strengthening the muscles of your inner world. Resilience is like training. You don't become strong by lifting light weights. You become strong by lifting what challenges you, stretches you, and forces you to grow. Pushing yourself doesn't mean ignoring your feelings. It means choosing not to let those feelings stop you. Think about your daily life. Think about the mornings you wake up tired, heavy, overwhelmed. Your body wants to stay in bed. Your mind wants to shut off. Your emotions feel like too much. But you still get up. You still dress up. You still show up. Most people don't see it, but that moment is a victory. That moment is you building emotional resilience. That moment is you telling life, you may slow me down, but you won't stop me. Every time you push yourself in those moments, you're training your mind to operate even when your emotions say no. Emotional resilience is built through effort, not comfort. Imagine you're at the gym and your trainer hands you the lightest weight in the room. If you lift only that weight, you will never grow stronger. The muscle has no reason to change. The same is true with life. If you only face easy days, you never grow. If life never stretched you, you would never develop the emotional strength needed for your future. That is why the hard days are important. The moments that feel heavy, uncomfortable, inconvenient, those are the days building your emotional armor. Those are the days preparing you for bigger responsibilities and bigger blessings. Look at people who inspire you. None of them became strong by living an easy life. They became strong because they kept pushing when life said stop. They cried but kept going. They failed but kept trying. They doubted but still moved forward. That is emotional resilience in its purest form. Resilience is not the absence of struggle. Resilience is the decision to continue growing through the struggle. Take a simple daily example. Imagine you're working on a project and everything goes wrong. Your plan fails, your resources fall short, your time runs out. One version of you gives up, feels defeated, says, it's too much. Another version of you takes a breath, rethinks the strategy, tries again, pushes through. Nothing magical happened in the second version. The only difference is resilience. You decided to push yourself instead of quitting. That choice trains your mind to stay calm under pressure, stay focused in chaos, and stay hopeful in uncertainty. Another example, think about relationships. When someone hurts you, disappoints you, or misunderstands you, your heart wants to shut down. Your mind says, avoid them, be cold, don't try again. But when you choose to communicate, to understand, to grow, you are building emotional resilience. You are learning how to handle emotional discomfort without breaking. People who never push themselves emotionally remain fragile. The smallest issue destroys their peace. But people who practice emotional resilience can stay stable even when situations shake them. Pushing yourself also builds resilience and discipline. Say you want to build a new habit, waking up early, saving money, working out, studying, planning your day. The first few days are easy because motivation is fresh. But after a week, your mind starts resisting. Your body feels lazy. Your old habits call you back. This is the moment most people quit. But the ones who push through this phase, even when it feels uncomfortable, build resilience. They train their mind to stay committed beyond motivation. They build a mindset that says, I do not depend on feelings to move. I depend on discipline. Discipline builds strength. Discipline builds confidence. Discipline builds emotional stability. Every time you push yourself to do what you said you do, even when you don't feel like it, you become the kind of person who trusts themselves. That trust becomes resilience. Because the strongest people are not the ones who never fall, they are the ones who know they can get back up. Look at someone learning a new skill. Maybe they're learning to cook, to drive, to speak a new language, to build a business, to heal from emotional wounds. In the beginning, everything is confusing. Nothing feels natural. Everything feels slow. Mistakes happen constantly. But if they push themselves to keep going, even in the face of frustration, their emotional resilience grows. They learn patience. They learn adaptability. They learn how to stay focused in the middle of discomfort. This is emotional strength being built in real time. And think about tough seasons, financial struggles, heartbreak, loss, failure. These moments feel like they are breaking you. But if you look closely, they are building something inside you. When you push yourself through pain, you discover you are stronger than you thought. When you push yourself through fear, you discover courage you didn't know you had. When you push yourself through uncertainty, you discover faith you thought you lost. These discoveries create emotional resilience. You don't become emotionally strong by wishing for easier days. You become emotionally strong by surviving the difficult ones. You become emotionally strong every time you say, I will not let this stop me. You become emotionally strong when you take one step, even when everything inside you wants to stop. Resilience is built one decision at a time. Every moment you push yourself is like adding another layer of strength to your character. People often underestimate the power of small pushes. They think resilience comes from big dramatic moments. But resilience is built in the everyday moments. The moments you choose patience instead of anger. The moments you choose hope instead of fear. The moments you choose progress instead of excuses. The moments you choose to try again instead of giving up. These tiny decisions create massive emotional strength over time. And here's something most people don't realize. Emotional resilience makes you unstoppable. It makes you someone who does not collapse under pressure. It makes you someone who can face pain without losing themselves. It makes you someone who adapts, learns, grows, and rises. Pushing yourself is not just about achieving goals. It is about becoming a person who cannot be easily broken, shaken, or defeated. Every time you push yourself, you are rewriting your story. Every moment of effort is shaping a new version of you. Every step you take, even the smallest one, is building the emotional resilience that will carry you through the rest of your life. Your circumstances do not define your internal state. Many people grow up believing that whatever is happening on the outside must automatically control what they feel on the inside. But the truth is far more empowering. The truth is that your internal world is the only world you truly control. You can be surrounded by chaos yet carry peace. You can be surrounded by noise yet hold clarity. You can be facing storms yet still choose strength. Your circumstances are events, but your inner state is a decision. And the day you understand this is the day life stops happening to you and starts happening for you. Every single morning you open your eyes, you are given a gift called control. Not control over the weather, not control over other people's actions, not control over every situation, but control over your reactions, your focus, your attitude, your inner voice, your emotional posture. That is the real battlefield, and that is the place where victory starts. Think about a simple example. Your car breaks down on a morning when you are already late. The situation is bad, but what happens next comes from you. Two people can face the same problem but live two different emotional realities. One person curses, panics, and ruins their entire day. The other sighs, breathes, calls for help, and stays calm because they have learned something powerful. The car broke down, but I didn't break down. The situation collapsed, but I didn't collapse. The circumstance changed, but I didn't change. Life is always testing the difference between what touches you and what controls you. And the moment you learn to protect your inner state, you rise above what tries to push you down. Imagine a man who works a difficult job, dealing with unreasonable people all day. He comes home exhausted, frustrated, drained. But one day he decides something different. He says to himself, I may not be able to change these people, but I can change my internal response to them. I refuse to give my peace away every day. Suddenly the same environment feels different because he is different. The office doesn't become easier, but it stops having power over his emotions. That is the beauty of internal strength. It doesn't remove challenges. It removes their authority over your happiness. Everyday life will send you situations that try to define you. Stress will try to shape you. Disappointments will try to label you. Failures will try to limit you. But you must speak to yourself with unwavering conviction. I am not what I go through. I am not what happened to me. I am not the weight of these circumstances. I am who I choose to be in the middle of them. When you start affirming your internal identity, external problems start losing their grip. Look at people who have achieved greatness. Their stories are filled with difficulties, setbacks, rejection, heartbreak, financial struggle, emotional pain. But somewhere in the journey they made a choice. They decided that life's pressure would not crush their identity. They decided that their internal vision was stronger than external noise. They decided that even though the world was shaking, their spirit would stand firm. And that's why their circumstances didn't win. It's not because their life was easier. It's because their inner world was stronger. There are days when you wake up and nothing feels right. Maybe bills are piling up. Relationships feel unstable. Your future feels uncertain. Your past feels heavy and your motivation feels weak. But even then, you still have the most powerful gift, your internal authority. You can choose to breathe and tell yourself, this moment is hard, but it will no longer shape my inner world. I decide who I am. That decision doesn't erase your problems, but it gives you power in the middle of them. And that power changes everything. Think about a child learning to ride a bicycle. They wobble, they fall, they cry, they get frustrated. But the parent tells them, don't look at the ground, look ahead. The moment the child shifts focus, balance begins. Life works the same way. When you stare at circumstances, you lose balance. When you shift your focus inward, you rise. Your internal state determines how you walk, how you think, how you speak, how you respond, how you stand back up. That's why protecting it is essential. You must stop giving temporary situations permanent power. You must stop letting short-term storms create long-term damage inside you. The traffic jam doesn't deserve your peace. The rude person doesn't deserve your joy. The rejection doesn't deserve your identity. The delay doesn't deserve your hope. The struggle doesn't deserve your heart. These things may touch your day, but they don't get to own your spirit unless you hand them the keys. Your internal strength is like a thermostat. While circumstances are like weather, constantly shifting, unpredictable, and out of your control, your thermostat allows you to decide the temperature inside your soul. Storms can rage outside, but you decide whether you freeze or stay warm. Pressure can rise, but you decide whether you panic or stay centered. Disappointment can arrive, but you decide whether it breaks you or builds you. Every time you choose calm over chaos, you strengthen your internal foundation. Every time you choose gratitude over frustration, you build emotional resilience. Every time you choose hope over fear, you reinforce your inner world, and slowly you begin to transform. Not because life became easier, but because you became stronger. Your circumstances do not define your internal state. Your choices do. Your discipline does. Your mindset does. Your inner voice does. And when that inner world becomes unshakable, nothing outside of you will ever have the power to control you. Again, happiness flows from perspective, not perfection. Most people spend their whole lives chasing the perfect moment, the perfect job, the perfect relationship, the perfect environment, believing that happiness is something waiting on the other side of perfection. But perfection is a moving target. Every time you get close, it shifts. Every time you think you've reached it, life shows you another flaw, another problem, another gap. That is why so many people feel defeated. They tie their happiness to something that will never stand still. But the people who understand the secret of life know something different. They know that happiness is not found in the perfection of life, but in the perspective you choose to look through. Imagine two people standing under the same rain. One curses the weather, frustrated that their plans were ruined. The other smiles because the rain reminds them growth, renewal, and life. Same rain, different eyes. Same moment, different meaning. It is not the event that creates happiness, but the perspective that interprets it. When you shift your perspective, the world transforms without changing a single detail. Suddenly the things that looked like burdens begin to look like lessons. The things that felt like failures begin to feel like directions. The things that seemed like delays begin to appear as protection. Think about a woman working in a small office, overwhelmed by deadlines, frustrated by coworkers, tired of the routine. Every morning she wakes up thinking, why is my life so hard? She sees her job as a trap. She sees her stress as a punishment. She sees her routine as a curse. And as long as she carries that perspective, even the smallest inconvenience feels like a mountain. But one day she decides to look differently. Instead of seeing the job as a trap, she sees it as training. Instead of seeing stress as punishment, she sees it as pressure shaping her. Instead of seeing routine as a curse, she sees it as discipline building consistency. And suddenly, without changing her job, her emotional world changes. This is the power of perspective. When she shifts how she sees her circumstances stop controlling how she feels. There is a man who lost an opportunity he was desperately hoping for. He sits alone, defeated, convinced that life is unfair. For weeks he carries disappointment like a heavy stone in his heart. He believes life stole something from him. But later, when he gets an even better opportunity he never expected, he realizes something powerful. The first no was not a rejection, it was redirection. But he could only understand that when his perspective changed. This is why happiness cannot wait for perfect timing. It grows inside you when you choose to see purpose instead of pain, possibilities instead of problems, lessons instead of losses. In daily life, perspective is everything. When your child spills juice on the floor, one perspective sees a mess, another sees a moment to teach patience. When traffic slows you down, one perspective sees wasted time, another sees a chance to breathe, reflect, and reset your mind. When someone speaks harshly to you, one perspective sees an insult, another sees a reminder to not let other people's storms enter your heart. The situation is the same, but your experience changes the moment your perspective changes. Many people think happiness is complicated, but the truth is much simpler. Happiness grows in ordinary moments when you choose to see meaning instead of misery. Happiness blooms when you say, "This moment may not be perfect, but it has purpose." Happiness strengthens when you understand that even mistakes carry wisdom, even delays carry protection, even heartbreak carries revelation. Nothing in life is wasted when perspective is right. Listen carefully, because this is where transformation begins. Life will not always give you what you want, but it will always give you what you need to grow. If your perspective is small, the smallest inconvenience will break you. But if your perspective is strong, even storms will push you forward. This is why two people can live the same life but feel completely different inside. Perspective is the lens that shapes your emotional reality. When the lens is clear, joy becomes easier. When the lens is grateful, blessings become visible. When the lens is hopeful, the future becomes brighter. Think about the times you felt stressed, anxious, overwhelmed. What made it heavy was not only the situation, but the story you told yourself about it. The story is the perspective. You said, "I can't handle this." You said, "Why me?" You said, "This always happens to me." And your emotions followed the story. But look at what happens when you change the narrative. Tell yourself, "I've survived worse." Tell yourself, "This moment is preparing me, not punishing me." Tell yourself, "I may not control the situation, but I control my attitude." Suddenly the same situation feels different because the story changed. Your emotions shift because your perspective shifted. Happiness is not the absence of problems. Happiness is the strength to see beyond them. Happiness is not a perfect life. Happiness is a powerful perspective inside an imperfect life. And when you decide to live from that place, you begin to understand a truth most people never realize: your joy has never been lost. It has only been waiting for you to look again with different eyes. Every struggle is preparing you for a deeper level of joy. Most people run from struggle because they see it as an enemy. They see hardship as something that comes to break them, drain them, weaken them. But struggle is a teacher wearing the disguise of pain. It shows up uninvited, it speaks in ways you don't always like, but it teaches lessons you cannot learn in comfort. Every time life becomes heavy, it is shaping something inside you that light moments cannot build. There is a version of you that only reveals itself under pressure, and that version is wiser, stronger, more focused, more intentional, more grateful, more powerful. If you run from struggle, you run from the very process that builds your joy. Think about a seed buried under the soil. From the outside, it looks like darkness, pressure, confinement. But inside that pressure, something beautiful is happening. The seed is breaking so that life can come out. The breaking is not the end, it is the beginning. Joy is the flower, but struggle is the seed cracking open. Without struggle, the seed remains a seed. Without pressure, growth never starts. Your life works the same way. You feel moments when you say, "Why am I breaking?" But you don't realize you are breaking open, not breaking apart. Struggle feels like destruction, but it is actually construction. It is building the foundation for a deeper joy you could not reach without first being stretched. Take a daily life example. A young man wants to build a stronger body, so he goes to the gym. The first time he lifts weights, he feels pain. His muscles shake. His arms burn. Everything in him says, this hurts, stop. But he continues. And after weeks of pain, something changes. He becomes stronger. He becomes more confident. He stands taller. People look at him and see strength, but they don't see the process. They admire the result, but forget the struggle that produced it. The same principle works emotionally, spiritually, mentally. Your joy becomes deeper when you have been strengthened by what you survived. Look at a woman who went through heartbreak. At first, she feels shattered. She feels empty, confused, disappointed. But over time, she discovers her own strength. She learns self-respect. She learns boundaries. She learns patience. She learns that she can stand on her own. Months later, she laughs again, but the laughter is different, richer, more real, more meaningful. Why? Because the struggle deepened her joy. She now knows the value of peace because she has tasted chaos. She knows the value of love because she has known loss. She knows the importance of choosing wisely because she lived the consequence of choosing carelessly. Struggle didn't steal her joy. It prepared her for a joy that is mature and grounded. You will also notice that people who have been through storms carry a different kind of gratitude. They don't take small things for granted. They appreciate quiet mornings, simple meals, honest friends, stable moments. They appreciate progress, even if it's slow. They appreciate peace, even if it comes in small doses. And that appreciation makes their joy deeper than the joy of someone who has never struggled. When life has pressed you hard, the smallest blessing feels like a miracle. That is the gift of struggle. It increases the value of joy. Think about the times you have cried alone, the nights when your mind was heavy, the mornings you didn't want to get out of bed, the days when responsibilities felt too big. Now look at where you are. You are reading this. You survived what you thought would break you. You endured what you thought you couldn't handle. You got through moments that felt impossible. That struggle built a strength in you that most people will never see. And that strength makes room for deeper joy. When you finally smile after surviving a storm, that smile is pure, powerful, and unshakable. A diamond is formed under extreme pressure. Without that pressure, it remains just a piece of carbon. Struggle works the same way. It squeezes you, stretches you, challenges you. But what it produces is far more valuable than what it takes. Every sleepless night, every disappointment, every setback, every painful phase is carving something precious inside you. It is chiseling away the parts of you that cannot go where your future joy is waiting. Struggle does not diminish you, it reveals you. Watch a child learning to walk. They fall again and again. Each fall frustrates them, confuses them, sometimes even scares them. But every fall is building balance. Every stumble is strengthening their legs. Every failed attempt is preparing them for the moment when they finally take that first steady step. And when they do, the joy is overwhelming. The struggle made the achievement meaningful. Your life is no different. The moments you call failures are actually the repetitions preparing you for stability. The moments you call setbacks are actually steps strengthening your foundation. Sometimes you ask life, why is this happening to me? But one day you will look back and say, thank you for that struggle. Because without it, you would not have the wisdom you carry now, the courage you walk with now, the clarity you see with now. People who never struggle often never grow. People who never fall often never learn. People who never break often never discover their depth. But you went through the fire, and that fire refined you. Every struggle is preparing you for a deeper level of joy. Every frustration is stretching your character. Every challenge is shaping your perspective. Every disappointment is teaching you what truly matters. Every loss is awakening gratitude for what remains. And every storm is preparing you to enjoy the sunshine in a way you never could before. As we come to the end of this message, I want you to take a deep breath and feel something awakening inside you. Something you may have forgotten for a long time. The strength you've been searching for has always been in you. The courage you've been waiting for has always been in your spirit. The hope you thought you lost has only been sleeping, waiting for the moment you choose to rise again. Because life is not asking you to be perfect. Life is asking you to show up. Life is asking you to stand even when your legs are shaking, to smile even when your heart is heavy, to take one small step even when the path feels uncertain. There is greatness buried inside you that pain could not destroy, that loss could not erase, that struggle could not silence. Sometimes you forget who you are because life distracts you, but moments like this are reminders of the fire you carry. You must understand that you are not defined by what happened to you. You are defined by what you choose to become after it. You are not a product of your past. You are the architect of your future. Every time life pushed you down, it wasn't trying to end you. It was trying to teach you how to rise. And every time you rose, even if nobody celebrated you, even if nobody saw it, something powerful was happening inside you. You were being strengthened, refined, shaped, prepared. The battles you fought silently built the warrior you are becoming. The tears you cried quietly watered the soil where your future joy will grow. The disappointments that broke you were actually rebuilding you. Listen to me closely, because this is the truth so many people forget. You are stronger than you think, braver than you feel, and more capable than you believe. You have survived moments that once felt impossible. You have walked through days that felt heavier than mountains. You have made it through nights when your heart felt empty and your mind felt tired. And here you are, standing, breathing, learning, growing. That alone is a victory. Don't let anyone, including yourself, minimize the strength you carry. The fact that you are still here means life has not defeated you. It means destiny still has plans for you. There will be days ahead that challenge you, days that stretch you, days that test your patience and your faith. But remember, these storms don't come to drown you, they come to cleanse you. Obstacles don't come to stop you, they come to strengthen you. Pressure doesn't come to crush you, it comes to reveal the diamond inside you. You are not in life to break, you are in life to rise, to expand, to evolve. Every hardship is molding a more powerful version of you, a version that can carry joy with depth, peace with maturity, confidence with humility, strength with wisdom. In moments when you feel tired, remind yourself, I didn't come this far to give up now. In moments when you feel discouraged, tell yourself, I am built for this season. In moments when your heart feels weak, whisper, this is not where my story ends. Your words are tools, your thoughts are builders, your attitude is a weapon. When you speak strength, you become strong. When you speak hope, you awaken hope. When you choose joy, you attract joy. Happiness is not a reward life gives to the lucky. Happiness is a decision the courageous choose daily. Choose it even when it's hard. Choose it even when life feels heavy. Choose it even when the road is long. You must remember powerful truths that will carry you forward. You don't grow when life is easy. You grow when life challenges you. You don't discover who you are in comfort. You discover who you are in conflict. You don't find purpose in pleasure, you find it in pressure. And you are not shaped by the moments when everything was smooth. You are shaped by the moments when everything was shaking, but you still kept going. One day you will look back and realize the pain you feared the most became the pathway to the person you always hoped to be. Every great destiny requires a great struggle. Every strong soul carries a scar. Every bright future was born from a dark season. So don't hate the chapters that tested you. They are the chapters that transformed you. Don't regret the moments that hurt you. Those moments revealed your depth. Don't curse the storms you survived. Those storms taught you how to navigate life with wisdom. You are not here by accident. You are here because you have a purpose bigger than what you faced, a strength greater than what you've struggled with, and a future brighter than what you can see right now. Many people wait for life to get easier before they decide to be happy, but you must decide to be happy while life is still stretching you. Happiness is not something you receive at the finish line. It is something you practice on the journey. Even in pain, choose perspective. Even in pressure, choose hope. Even in storms, choose growth. Because when happiness becomes your decision instead of your reaction, nothing outside you can take it away. So rise with a new mindset. Rise with a renewed vision. Rise with the conviction that you were made for resilience, made for progress, made for joy. Tell yourself, I will not let life harden me. I will let life strengthen me. Tell yourself, my struggle is not my identity, my strength is. Tell yourself, the best version of me is still unfolding. And even on the days when you feel weak, remember that weakness is not failure, it is preparation. When life tests you, it is showing you the power you haven't fully tapped into yet. Your journey is not over. Your story is not finished. Your joy is not gone. The world has not yet seen the strongest version of you. You have more inside you than you realize. Keep walking, keep believing, keep growing, keep choosing joy. Because every step you take, even the small ones, are carrying you toward a future filled with strength, purpose, peace, and a happiness that is unshakable.